shout out and congratulations to OKC winning their first championship. Gotta give him that. Gotta give him that. Shai Alexander had a hell of a career this season. You know what I'm saying? He MVP of the game today. And I'm gonna ask you this, Pete. What are your thoughts on this finals, on the run that they had, man?
I thought it was great. You know, I thought what was impressive was because they were special last year, right? They were number one in the West last year, and you know they didn't really add nobody. Like this is the same group that came back. They added Caruso, obviously Hardestein. Those were the two, which I think what got them over the hump. But I think the core of that group being together, them learning, and I loved all the. You know, when you watched them, you saw Shai talking to his team. You saw Jalen Williams talking to the team. Like you saw moments where they were collectively trying to get on the same page, and through every series, you know what I mean? Like every series, you saw growth. You saw them trying to figure out the game, and I thought that was special. I thought that stood out. But then, you know, I love, you know, I think Shai is kind of separating himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's putting himself in a category of his own of, you know, we hear the debate of who's the face of the NBA and who's the young face of the NBA. And, you know, I think Shai kind of, you know, is taking that to heart. You know, he's tough, man. He's I think for the future for sure, he's gonna be you know, in that conversation of, you know, when you look at, you know, the KDs, the Steph, the Bronze, like, you know, they held 2010, 2020, they held those eras down. I think Shai is going to hold this next era down. But, you know, shout out Sam Presti, shout out Clay Bennett, shout out Oklahoma. Still got love for that organization. They deserve it. It was, you know, it was great to have and see both teams I played.
I love how they, every time they win a game, I love how when they do the interviews,
how they all together.
All together.
Yeah.
I love that because some of the players, I don't even know they was sitting on the bench. I didn't even know they was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But you're
going to see them.
You get to see them.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's dope how they started it. Because I don't see no other NBA team do that. And it's like some people ain't even played. And they will stay there just to do the interview in the background. And I think that was something cool. That
and Indy does that as well.
They do that too? Okay. So
yeah, Indy does that as well. They're shout out James Johnson. Like, you know, they if Tyrese got an interview, they're gonna wait on the floor and wait, you know, to help him off the floor and be there for him. So yeah, you see that and those are the teams that stick out, and those are the reasons why those are the last two teams standing, because that
little
cohesiveness,
stuff like that. Yep.
You know, there's a bond there.
Yeah, Shai was awesome as a leader because you kind of just said that. But there was one clip I remember. I think Chet took a hard foul and he fell on the floor, and Shai went right up to him and just said, "Bro, are you good?" He's like, all right, we need you. So it was fun to see him kind of rally the troops. But SGA won the MVP, a scoring title, and a Finals MVP, and won the championship. Arguably the best season from a guard since Michael Jordan in 1998.
Damn.
Do you think we're going to start? I mean, I think we will, but how quick is the media going to start throwing that out? Because that's a lot of accolades in one season for a young star in our league. Like he's going to get those comparisons here pretty soon. I already saw Scotty and
Jalen Williams.
Yeah. So
yeah, you are. But I think that same year, MJ. Did he win the defensive?
MJ had one more.
First team all defense as well. So he's
missing that.
So you're missing that.
You're right.
He's missing that.
That's the only thing you missing.
So you can't give him. You know,
that's true.
But I think you like it's 1A, 1B. You know what I mean? Like I think you can put him in. Not that you're putting him in a conversation with MJ, but you're from a season standpoint, you got to put him in that conversation. That's a hell of a year, especially in the league today. It's tough, you know what I mean? As a smaller guard, you know, the way he plays, especially the analytics, like they despise the way SG plays more now than they did in any other year, right? Because you want threes and layups. Well, he gets to the free throw line, which is great. but he doesn't shoot threes, and you know what I mean. Like for him to be able to do that, and I think it just it should put a ton more emphasis on the players that can operate in the mid-range game. Because you see, like
It's important.
It's important.
It's very important.
It's important when you got guys that can operate in that area. So they're trying to lose that part of the game with we want to trade twos for threes. The essence of the game is playing
It's
in the
two.
mid-range.
Yeah.
With that team being so young, P, and if they stay together, do you think that they have a shot to string off a few here and actually have a dynasty? Or what are your vibes with the group?
I think they can. I think they can. Shai's young. I mean, the whole core. Lou Dort's young. I think at this point it's just going to be about how much does winning together matters. You know what I mean?
That's what happened the last time we saw something.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't win it, but it will be interesting.
But you saw what they could be, and then it's just going to come down to how much does winning together mean. So, like, they can probably win and be successful off on their own, but how important is it to win together?
I'm gonna say I like how they look, but from watching the finals, them going to Game 7 and giving up they first game, I'm gonna say they need a little bit more help in the long run before they become a dynasty team. I think sure.
But they just, I mean, they can.
I just think they're gonna need a little bit more help. Like Chet Holmgren needs to get big. He's too little. Like, he got a ring. Don't get me wrong.
He's 20. You talking about guys that are 22,
time,
23
right
years
now,
old.
Did you know how skinny I was when I was 20?
He's gonna be going up against Joel Embiid soon, and that is a big dude, man.
He won, so it
don't matter. Yeah,
it don't matter.
And
won. Again,
they won as is.
And again,
true.
They're 23, 22 years old,
yeah, 24
young. Years old. Like, they're gonna get better. They're gonna get bigger. They're gonna get smarter. Like, this is the youngest team that has won a championship.
And a lot of other teams is too.
Huh?
And a lot of other teams is too. Gonna get bigger and gonna get smarter.
This is the most unique
they got a
setup that you'll see right here.
There.
This is the most unique.
They're gonna be a problem.
I like them. Don't get me wrong.
They still might get somebody else, but I don't see them getting rid of that core. And they like each other.
They like each other.
They good. I like the three main ones for sure.
They can go out and do whatever they want with the picks that they have.
Yeah, true.
Like, think about it. They can move one of those guys for I don't know.
I think they need a better bench.
Name it.
I think they need a better bench.
And we didn't see a prospect that they draft this year who I think is going to be a stud. Nikola Topic. Like, he didn't play all year.
He didn't play at all.
Because he got hurt. But he's a problem. He's a Serbian kid. He's nice. Like, they have pieces over there. That's one thing Oklahoma do. They find talent.
Draft. Yeah, they're going to find the diamond.
They're going to find the diamond in the rough. So, yeah.
Well, they did something this year, so shout out to OKC.